we're going to start our final session here on the 18th stage. And again, as I said earlier, just continuing our discussion of rural businesses and businesses that have done inspiring things, taken an idea and literally run with it. And we are still in the world of wool, so all things sheepy. Now we spoke to Sarah Turner earlier this morning from Little Beau Sheep. We're going to talk to you in a moment about your product, Sarah. But first of all, let's talk to Michelle from Baa Stool. What a great name. And the chair you are sitting in, I think really is one of the finest examples of product placement I've seen this week.
This is our sheepskin polar bear chair.
I'm glad you called it a polar bear chair, because when I was starting it earlier, I just said I felt like I was being wrapped up by a polar bear.
Absolutely, it's like being hugged by a polar bear, or sitting on a cloud, as we like to say.
Sitting on a cloud, cloud 9, there we go. Now we were just chatting before you came on about the kind of revolution that may be underway in the way that we use wool, not least from Chris Tavisell talking about his wool products and the benefits of using wool in terms of helping us sleep better. You can vouch for that because you've got it all, haven't you?
I've got the bed, the duvet, the pillows, the mattress topper, and I can vouch for the fact that since we've bought them, we've slept so much better. It's fantastic.
Now, but there must be a danger surely that you might yet fall asleep in that amazing chair.
I'm told by people that own them it's not possible to stay awake for longer than half an hour.
So just talk us through your business then, Baa Stool. I mean, it's one of those great names that I think really sort of does what it says on the side of the tin, on the leg, as it were. Where did you get the idea from?
Well, I spent 25 years in the corporate world, and when I was made redundant in 2011, I went to a girls' night. There was a fortune teller there, and she told me that I was about to have a huge change in career, and she saw me surrounded by chairs and pincushions. You're going to be an upholsterer. And at the time I was quite sceptical about these kind of things, but because I'd been made redundant, I was looking for something different to do. So 2 weeks later I started a 2-year course with the Association of Master Upholsterers, and it was about a year in that I came up with the idea for Baa Stool. My very serious upholstery tutors all said, "Oh, don't be silly, that's just ridiculous." But I thought, no, there's something in this. This has got legs.
This has got legs. Very good, very good. Actually, my wife has done the same course.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she's still kind of wondering what to do. We can't do what you've done. We need to come up with a better idea. But you know, it's wonderful when you face a difficult situation, as you say, redundancy, and then you've managed to turn that to an advantage and actually think, I guess there's nowhere else to go but up.
Absolutely. I think it allowed me to use the creative side that I never knew I had. I always used to say I wasn't creative because I wasn't very good at drawing. But there's so many other ways to be creative, and I'm just really lucky that I found that.
So when did you make your first product that you thought you could sell?
The first tool that I ever made, I used to go to our local county shows and do upholstery demonstrations, because I was trained in a traditional upholstery, so it's quite a nice thing. It's like a spectator sport, working with horsehair and fibre. And so I used to demonstrate the upholstery, and I ran an upholstery school at that time as well. And I just took one of the stools along that I'd made with me, and that actually got more attention at the shows than the upholstery did. And that's when I realised there's a product here and there's a brand, so let's make more of it.
So how long ago was that?
2013 is when the business really took off. That's when I started to attend trade shows and find stockists and really sell into shops.
Now just talk about the chair. Is it a standard wingback chair that you've cleverly recovered, or is there more to it?
We buy the frames. It's in a mahogany frame, and then we upholster it from frame and cover it in it's all real British sheepskin that we use in all of our products.
So sourcing the white sheepskin, I suppose must be quite tricky, but I guess you can have some fun with different breeds and colours.
To be honest, the breeds, we don't really touch what breed the sheep is. We work with the one remaining tannery in the UK who are based in Devon. They're called Devonia, and they're the one remaining commercial tannery in England. And we purchase about 98% of our sheepskin comes directly from them.
And is it all washed and treated and ready to go onto chairs?
It's tanned and ready to go, so we're literally upholstering the furniture, and we use sheepskin in the same way that you would use a fabric. in some ways it's an easier fabric to work with.
Well, you haven't got to match any patterns, have you? That's the clever thing.
That's we just whack it on.
I think that belies the craftsmanship.
There's a bit more to it than that, yeah.
Well, yeah, whacking it on is not what your upholstery tutor would use to describe it. We're going to come back to you in a moment. I'm going to introduce Sarah then, because with what you've been doing, ways, for anybody who wasn't here this morning, just talk us through your business and how you got the idea for what you did.
So, Little Beau Sheep is mainly an online business, and they use British wool and lanolin to make all my products. So one of the best sellers are the laundry balls, which are at the front there, and they do the same job as plastic spiky laundry balls. They get in amongst your clothes, they separate the layers of laundry so air can circulate, and it naturally softens. And you can also scent them with essential oils, and then that puts a nice fragrance through without having to use chemical fabric softeners and conditioners. And then the other best-selling product is the little felted soap at the front there, which is a bar of soap, which you use with the wool on, and it lathers through like having a built-in flannel, and it just shrinks and
So you've coated a bar of soap with wool?
Yes.
And the lather comes through the wool?
Yes.
Does it not end up as a sort of sticky, woolly mess?
No, because as you'll have heard in the last thing, it repels all the antibacterial and the odours and everything, and it just ends up as a small ball of wool. It lasts 6 to 9 months at least. My kids make them last a year.
That is incredible. Now, your business is quite young, isn't it? When did you start?
I listed my first product in October 2015.
Wow. And never looked back?
No.
So it's one of those classic sort of tabletop ideas, I suppose, but born out of a realisation that you just wanted to solve the problem of a noisy, rapid...
Yeah, so one of the benefits of having wool laundry balls as opposed to plastic, other than like the benefit of not using plastic on its own right, is the fact that the plastic ones are really noisy as they kind of ham around on the drum. And at the time, my kids were 1 and 3. We moved into a tiny flat when we were renovating a house, and had no outside drying space for the laundry. So the tumble dryer's on all the time, and I just couldn't have it on if the kids were asleep. So that was when I looked for an alternative and found that you can make it out of wool, and started doing them like the different breeds of sheep, using the right wool from the right sheep breed.
So effectively you're using shrunken wool, is that correct?
Yes, so felted wool by definition is shrunken.
And you've managed to kind of embellish the whole thing with these lovely faces and designs on your products. How many people have recognised that, as you did, that actually it's a much quieter, easier way of using a modern tumble dryer, but literally putting into it something time-honoured?
Well, it's been a bit of an education piece, to get the message out there about, the benefits of using laundry balls. It's something that Americans are ahead of, because when I first listed them, I was selling, I still do sell quite a lot straight to America, sort of from day one. So it's just a bit of fun as well. That's what I also get told. People like to display them in their laundry room and just scent them so that the whole room smells nice.
So what you've got here is a box, which is the box set you can collect.
We have a collector's edition. A lot of what I've done has been driven by what people feeding back and going, can you do one like my sheep bab, she's as warbles, that kind of thing. And it's just kind of grown from there. And so the collector's edition was a request initially.
Who'd have thought? I bet you'd never imagined you'd have a collector's edition being such a young business. But what were the challenges for you in setting up a business from scratch?
Well, time. Having to preschoolers at the time, it was fitting it in. So I did start just really slowly, just sort of launching just on Etsy to start with before getting my own website, and building in trips to the post office around trips to the library for the kids so they didn't get bored, that kind of thing. And then it's how to grow sustainably and then keep up the demand.
I mean, one of the things that we've been talking about on this stage this week is connectivity, the way that the online world has exploded now. I mean, I spend a lot of time selling properties to people who want to move to the country, who are thinking about starting a new business or bringing an existing business with them. And the online world now has transformed opportunities, particularly in rural areas, to make a business successful and actually live the dream of working from home and pursuing a passion through a hobby into something far more commercial.
Well, it reduces the sort of initial startup costs that are necessary as well. You don't need the to like rent a space somewhere, or even have a shop, because you just, as long as you've got a presence online. Sometimes people are just doing it through social media accounts.
Yeah. How important to you has been the online world, Michelle?
When we started to really grow the business, it predominantly did it through stockists. So we attended trade shows nationally and internationally, and built up a stable of around 300 stockists. But the problems in the retail market kind of started to hurt our growth. So we pivoted slightly, and now we are retailing online, and social media is huge for us. We have approaching 40,000 followers now. You see me bouncing around on Instagram all the time. It's absolutely vital. One of the problems that we had in the early days, being in a rural area, was we had really poor internet connectivity, and uploading images and processing orders was really difficult for us. But we've got super fast broadband now, so we're okay.
Fastershire has come to your doorstep. It's also just arrived at mine, which I'm delighted about. But I guess actually for a product like yours too, seeing is believing. I mean, it's such a tactile thing, isn't it?
I think that's why it's important that we have stockists as well. I didn't think that this was a product that would sell online, because exactly for that reason. I thought it would be something that you would have to touch and really buy into. But people know sheepskin. People know it's going to be soft, and our reviews speak for themselves. People are constantly sending us reviews about how great the bar stools are, and they're cute, and people give them names, and all of that really helps.
I would encourage anybody at the end of this session to come up and try Michelle's incredible chair. I mean, you really have to try it out to understand just how comfortable it is. It is not just any old chair, I can assure you. But if anyone were interested in getting one, dare I ask, what's it going to cost them for something like that? Because it looks very opulent.
This armchair, our polar bear chair range, we have the polar bear chair, the grizzly bear chair, the care bear chair. We will do them in any colour that our sheepskin's available in, and they're £2,500.
Wow. Hands up, who's going to get one right now?
It's my husband.
I like the idea of a grizzly bear chair. I presume that's sort of, is it black or brown?
It's a natural black sheep, so it's a chocolate sheepskin.
Yeah, fantastic. And I presume the cow one is white and black and so on.
We do bespoke items, so the rare bear chair, which is rare breed sheepskin. An individual can choose from a load of images that we have of the rare breed sheepskins that we have available, and virtually design their own chair.
It's really interesting. And when you started your upholstery course, were you thinking initially that you would go into the sort of renovation game?
Yeah, I thought I would be an upholsterer.
Yeah. But now you've taken that, and I mean, in terms of staffing and actually producing a chair like that, are you now employing other people to make them?
Yeah, our business is quite seasonal, so we get busy when it's cold. So there's up to 11 of us in the colder seasons, reducing to about 5 throughout the rest of the year.
And in terms of sourcing your sheepskin, you say you go to the only tannery left in the UK?
That's right. Tanneries were, in the 1950s, the government identified industries that were very polluting, and like mining and tanning, and that were also costing the NHS a lot of money. And basically legislated them out of existence. So there used to be a tannery in next door to every abattoir.
Yeah.
So now there's just the one remaining commercial. There's there's some small organic tanneries and small operations. There's a tannery in Skye, but the only commercial tannery now is based in Devon.
I mean, it's obviously part of your brand and your USP, but have you ever thought of using any other material other than wool? Because you can clearly have a lot of fun when you're considering what you're going to cover any kind of piece of furniture in.
Well, we have trademarked Moose Stool.
Moose?
So moo.
Oh, moo.
But not moose. So we will be launching a cowhide stool in the very near future.
Moose Stool, brilliant.
Moose Stool.
Fantastic. I mean, I think the point is that you're both having a lot of fun with your products and how you design them. Is that fair to say?
Yes, definitely.
And what do you see the challenges for you then going forward, Sarah, with your business? Because it's on a slightly different scale, but you're still catering for a very particular kind of market.
Yeah, it's keeping up with demand because it's a handmade product, and I don't want to lose the handmadeness and the British wool, and and just so it's just keeping up with it and sort of increasing the manufacturing side, I would say.
What was the toughest thing in starting your business, do you think?
Taking that leap of faith to start with, really. It's just going for it, and then once you've done that, then there's no looking back.
Did you need lots of advice? Did you have to kind of seek out financial advice and work out a business plan, or did you just say, I'm just going to try it and see
Not
if it
straight
works?
away, no, I didn't, I'll be honest. But it's something that as I suppose it's grown to a tipping point now where I'm at a point where I'm not going to manage to do it all myself for much longer, so it's choosing the right partners and people to work with and working the best way forward, and that's when I think you need the advice.
See, I think one of the interesting things that I've learned from many, I think artisan producers particularly, this week and throughout my time trotting around the country meeting them and seeing them at work, is where do you start to price your products to make it viable so that it actually does account for the time that you're putting into it, particularly when we're talking about handmade products. There are lots of people out there who've got a great idea, but actually making the time pay and the material costs pay in a way that will actually sell, I think it's really difficult actually.
It's trial and error as well, so it becomes different. If you're just retailing and selling yourself, that's sort of one game, and if you're selling through suppliers and other outfits, then it's a different equation really. So I think you've just got to try it, test the market. There's no point pricing yourself out of the market, so it's just a balancing act, and you've just got to find what works.
I mean, for you, Michelle, and I know this because I've seen it through the experience with my wife, upholstery is famously labour intensive and time expensive. So I can definitely see how your chair is the price it is. But nonetheless, I think you've probably caught a wave where people are recognising the value of a handmade approach far more than before.
Absolutely, and we train all our team members so that they can do the whole process. Obviously, an upholsterer makes the chairs, but the skills in our workshop are predominantly sewing, because we have a whole range of sheepskin products. So our primary range is the stools, but then we do cushions, door stops, draft excluders. We've just released a tablet stand called a U-View.
Gee, clever. It's all in the name, isn't it?
We even have lampshades.
Brilliant. Anyone else got any brand ideas?
We love
Yeah, there you go. 10% off the chair if you get one in. But I mean, in terms of your future expansion, are you happy with where you are? Do you think you need to go further?
I think we're happy. We grew very, very fast in 4 years, and I just wanted to take stock a little bit. We're not doing as many trade shows as we used to do. Now we're looking more at the retail market and retailing directly ourselves. And we've just undertaken a project with the Export Wales, looking at the export market to Japan specifically. We have a big market in America already, and we know that in Japan there is a stall in the corner of every room, and that the market would love British and cute. So there seems to be a huge opportunity for us there, so that's where we're headed next.
Are you surprised at how successful it's been?
Yes, and I constantly walk around this big unit. When we started, we were in a 15th century brook farm in the middle of an area of outstanding natural beauty in the Welsh Mountains. Very idyllic, very beautiful, completely impractical, because we do container loads to America, and they were taking down trees to get the containers to us, so we had to move, unfortunately, to a smaller industrial area, but as industrial area as it gets in rural Wales. So I've forgotten the question, sorry, I lost it.
Were you surprised?
Yes, so I walk around this big unit that we have now, constantly thinking, how on earth did this happen? And the fact that there's employees and families to feed, and that sort of responsibility is what's taken me by surprise more than anything.
So one of the things that came up yesterday was that it was recognised that there was a time not that long ago when consumers might look slightly sideways at things that were handmade because they didn't think they were made well enough. Whereas actually I think now we've come 480 degrees and recognise that things that are handmade are made better and with more care and kind of emotional commitment and technical commitment than almost anything else.
I think the message that comes back to us from our customers constantly is quality, that they're ecstatic with the quality of our products, and that is really, really important to us. The main thing that we want to achieve with our products is to make people smile. That's sort of the overriding aim of the business. And in order to do that, they've got to get a product that makes them happy, and quality is part of that. Something that's poor quality may make you happy, but it's not sustainable and not in the long term.
And I'm dying to ask, how easy are they to look after?
Well, they just need a bit of a brush every now and again. Best to keep them away from water, and certainly don't feed them.
Don't feed them. Well, I've got 2 black Labradors, and I just dread to think what would happen if I put that in my house. I know exactly who'd be on it, and it wouldn't be me.
I know someone who bought one for their dog.
That's as indulgent as it gets, isn't it, really? We talked about raw dog food and the various ways of spoiling your dogs this week, but that surely is the ultimate thing.
It has to be.
And would the dog thank you for it? I don't think so.
It looked quite happy, to be fair, in the image I've seen.
But for you, Sarah, I mean, we just touched upon the challenge of maintaining the quality of your product. That must be an issue for you when you're thinking about who you might employ
Yes.
to kind of join you in your business.
Yes, because there is a finite resource of me, so it just will need careful training. And that's the thing, you've just got to take stock, like what you were saying, and really plan for the next level.
And in terms of sort of products, we talked about some of the things that you're coming up with, all of which have amazing names. Have you got any other thoughts now? Or have you been inspired at the show here to kind of come up with any other products?
Well, obviously we've got the laundry balls and the laundry detergent, and we're sort of going into sort of natural cleaning in that respect. So we just launched like an orange scented vinegar, and we've got the linen sprays with the which match the fragrances you can put in your laundry balls and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's endless possibilities for like goat's milk soap.
Well, I was just thinking actually, because one of the great things about all the entrepreneurs we've met this week is their, I think, not obsession, but their will to want to collaborate with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And interconnecting people is one of the great joys of a show like this, when different producers and different ideas can come together. We were talking to Jude earlier with her incredible goat's milk soap. Could we see goat's milk soap in your
You
products?
could have wool-waxed goat's milk soap, I would have thought.
Yeah, that would be absolutely superb. Yeah, and maybe goat's milk cleaning products for your chairs.
And the perfect wool wash for your...
Without a doubt, I can see a package. I can see your products as something. One of the questions that we get asked when we're selling school is, how do I keep it clean?
Yeah.
And I mean, sheepskin's amazing. It doesn't want to be dirty anyway. They're very easy to keep clean, but a sticky spot.
Yeah.
Your wool wash would be perfect.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we recommend a proprietary wool wash. I'd much rather recommend another small business.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, not be bad. And like the sprays are great as well. Just especially with wool, doesn't always need washing every time you wear it because of its natural properties of being able to repel dust and dirt and odour.
Yeah.
So if you've got a nice jacket, you can just spray it with the different fragrances to keep them fresh.
I mean, talking to Chris earlier about his bed linen products and so forth and duvets, and the ability of wool to eradicate dust and the kind of dust mite issue and tackle issues about asthma and so forth, particularly in children using woolen-based mattresses and all the rest of it. I mean, the benefits of wool, clearly you all recognise them. But do you think there is now a movement that's that's coming to the fore and saying, actually, we don't want to be plastic anymore?
Well, definitely. I think the plastic issue has been brought to our attention, and when you think a lot of man-made fibres are actually microplastics that then get washed into the ocean. So I think a lot of people are sort of looking for more natural options for everything, including clothing and what they're washing their clothes in as well.
We've just been through a project called Project Singles, where we've removed all the single-use plastics from our packaging, and then we've also looked at the thinness that we use in our cushions, and we were looking at producing bean bags as well. Those polystyrene beans are horrendous for the environment, so we did a trial on using our trimmings, because obviously we trim the sheepskins to make our furniture, and we've used those to stuff into the cushions and the bean bags, and it works beautifully. It makes a really comfortable cushion, a much firmer than a normal cushion, and it's more sustainable. It's going to last a lot longer too, and we can provide a refill if necessary.
But it's also using your waste products.
Absolutely, yes.
So you're getting a bit more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
From your materials that you're buying in.
From day one, we've never ever thrown away any sheepskin, however small the piece. We've either donated it to local dogs' homes, given it to local schools for crafting or craft groups, or used it to make smaller pieces of smaller products, thrown it together to make patchwork rugs, that kind of thing.
I mean, there's a real kind of ethical element and foundation to all of the businesses that we've spoken to this week. There's a real depth to what you've done, I think, actually, particularly with the way that you use the materials, the way you use waste products, Project Seahorse. There is a responsibility that you've kind of brought into the business as well. It's not just about selling products.
I think being based in a rural environment reinforces that, because you're just surrounded by the natural beauty, and very conscious that you don't want to damage it. And we were given an award recently by Service Against Sewage to acknowledge the work that we've done towards removing plastics from our business. Because we do so much on social media, we publicly stated this is what we're going to do. And that means that we have to then follow through on it, because we know that our customers are watching us, and that's good. We're happy to do that.
Well, guys, thank you very much indeed. I mean, just really interesting to see how you came to set up and now operate and project the businesses that you do. They are both great fun, very inspiring, and yeah, if you are seriously thinking about a new chair for the dog, go on. Spoiler. Yeah, there you go. There's no delivery fee on this one if you take it home tonight. Guys, thank you very much indeed. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.